December 7th, 1941. The Empire of Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, bringing war to the United States and striking a heavy blow to the nation's navy. News of the attack would quickly spread, and while the US was still reeling over it, one man had seen a glimpse of hope. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Winston Churchill, was in a tough spot. Nazi Germany had swiftly defeated Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Yugoslavia, Greece, and most importantly, France. Until the beginning of Operation Barbarossa with the invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941, Great Britain stood alone against the Axis powers in Europe and Africa. While the Soviet entry into the war certainly didn't hurt the United Kingdom's position, early German successes were worrying. Despite this, Churchill was able to breathe a slight sigh of relief, stating that while he hated communism, any enemy of Hitler's would be a friend to Britain. Churchill had also said that Hitler's invasion of Russia was only a prelude to a future invasion of the British Isles. The English Channel and the strength of the Royal Navy and Air Force had kept the home island safe, and Britain's colonial holdings were providing manpower and materiel to support the war effort. However, Churchill knew that this could not last forever. Even if an invasion of the British Isles with Operation Sea Lion was a pipe dream, it was getting difficult to see how the United Kingdom could have continued the war. Colonial resources and Lend-Lease aid from the United States had kept the situation from deteriorating completely, but without an ally in the West to aid the British, the situation was grim. Although the Kriegsmarine was unable to field as many U-boats as they had wished, the Battle of the Atlantic was still taking its toll on Allied shipping, with losses mounting. When news reached Churchill of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, he was with the U.S. ambassador to Britain, John Gilbert Winant, and President Roosevelt's special envoy, Averell Harriman. According to historian Walter Reed in his book Churchill 1940-1945, a butler had brought in a portable radio for the three to listen to the BBC Home Service, and Churchill leapt to his feet once the attack was confirmed, saying that he must declare war on Japan immediately. Winant and Harriman advised him against this, dissuading the Prime Minister from making such an impulsive decision. Churchill would then contact President Roosevelt over the phone, asking, "Mr. President, what's this about Japan?" FDR said that it was true, and they were all in the same boat now. Churchill replied saying, "This certainly simplifies things. God be with you." After Winant spoke with Roosevelt, Churchill wrote that they then went back into the hall and tried to adjust our thoughts to the supreme world event which had occurred, which was of so startling a nature as to make even those who were near the center gasp. As Churchill himself wrote, "Being saturated and satiated with emotion and sensation, I went to bed and slept the sleep of the saved and thankful." However, at the time, Churchill was not aware of the severity of the losses the United States Navy had sustained at Pearl Harbor. Despite this, Churchill had still gotten what he had wanted for so long. The Prime Minister had been writing to President Roosevelt 2 or 3 times a week. Ambassador Winant, upon his arrival to the UK, was taken via a special train to Windsor. There, King George VI himself was waiting to drive him to the castle in his own car. The day after Pearl Harbor, the US would declare war on the Empire of Japan. Just 3 days later, Germany and Italy would declare war on America in response, something that they were not required to do by the Tripartite Pact. This made things much less complicated for Roosevelt, as he was unsure as to whether Congress would vote to declare war on Germany. US involvement in the war in Europe had become unquestionable. Later that month, Churchill and some of his military chiefs would travel to the US for the Arcadia Conference, with the Prime Minister himself staying in the White House. During this time, they had decided that Germany was the biggest Axis threat, and thus needed to be dealt with first. This would be the formation of the Europe First strategy that the US and UK would agree upon. In December 1941, the Axis' death warrant would essentially be signed, with the Soviet counteroffensive in the east and the attack on Pearl Harbor. At this point, there was nothing that they could do that would change their fate.